This podcast is part of the Deluxe Edition Network. To find other great shows on the network, head over to deluxeeditionnetwork.com. That's deluxeeditionnetwork.com.
Bev's Video Kingdom is intended for a mature audience. Listener discretion is advised.
Bev's Video Kingdom really is brought to you by...
What the fuck?
What's up, dude?
One of my renters broke the toilet again. That dude takes giant shits. Now I know what I'm doing tomorrow.
Why don't you hire a property management company or something to take care of that stuff?
Because they suck, and they take 10%.
You know, our dude Hank owns and manages Heritage Realty Partners. I think he said he only charges 5%, and he visits each property at least once a month.
That's right. He's always posting beers from the road. You have his number?
Actually, I do. His personal number is 805-451-5734.
Perfect. Now he can deal with my renter's big shits.
Heritage Realty Partners.
For all your property management and investment needs. Welcome back to Bev's Video Kingdom.
Welcome.
I've got a lot of Nutter Butter in this mouth.
I was going to say, you had a Nutter Butter right before, and you can't get that out of your mouth quickly.
Nope, that's not a one swallow situation.
Right.
That's a multi-swallow. A lot of saliva production.
Isn't that supposedly how they got? Is that supposedly? Yeah. Is that
it's not a one swallow situation, ma'am?
Is that how they got Mr. Ed to like talk on TV? They said back in the day, the talking horse for all you youngsters.
I think I heard something about that.
Like they would just put some peanut butter up in there and just
that's literally what they did. Yeah.
Okay.
So this is a particular kind of day today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We're doing that already?
Which day do you think it is?
I don't know.
Just jump on it.
Yeah.
I just wanted to hear Scott scream.
I think it might be draft day.
It's draft day. So we're drafting today. We watched Sleeping with Other People last week, which I just can't get enough of.
It was good.
You really could like watch that multiple times? Like that's a movie like you just sit down like, I'm going to put that on there.
I've probably watched it 10 times.
Yeah, I'm good. I saw it.
That's interesting.
You should go back and watch it, then go back and listen to our incredible assessment of it.
Scotch particularly?
Yeah. I have really good takes.
Always listen to Scotch.
No, you're telling Scotch to go watch the movie and then listen to us talk about it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do that, Scotch.
Absolutely. Okay. Watch it again.
You know, sometimes when we talk about these movies that I don't really like, by the end, I'm going, I'm kind of second guessing. Like, okay, maybe I thought about, no, I'm right.
No, you were right about that one. Okay. So one of the things featured in the movie, besides lots of great sex talk and some intense sex scenes, is some intense breakups. So there's some fun. So some that are funny, some that are kind of hard to, they feel hard, some that, that you're not sure how to feel. And so I thought, why don't we draft the most memorable breakups in movies?
Mm-hmm. To be even crazier, should we each tell a quick breakup story, whether you were the person involved or whether you...
Kendra's drafting with us this week. Always good. Scotch drafting with us as usual. Brad?
Yep.
Who'd you break up with?
Oh, no. The more I thought about that, that's probably not the best thing to, put out there because... Mine was just mean. I did have a mean one, and I don't even want to talk about it.
This was kind of on the spot. Let me think if I can think of any good ones.
I've done a lot of getting broken up with.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Is like, are there any where you got broken up with? Right, like that was just toughies.
There haven't been any like that make a good story. I
have a phenomenal
Wait,
one.
For me.
I have one that's actually really good, and he's never going to listen to this podcast. That's going to be wonderful, and it's fitting to the time that we live in. So I dated this human for 4.5 years, which is a substantial amount of time, and it was a relationship that I was in just a little bit longer than I needed to be. not a bad person at all. Great human. Nothing negative, just not my human. Anyways, we live together. I'm sitting down on our couch. I'm like, hey, we need to have this conversation. Tell him all the things, da 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 da. I'm like, I think, this isn't this fun anymore. And this motherfucker in 2017, way before, no, not way before, because it was important. He said, well, at least we did this before we had bad blood, like T Swift sings about. Dead.
He didn't
fucking,
say T Swift though.
I swear to
He
God.
made a Taylor Swift reference?
He made a Taylor Swift reference in 2017.
That's inexcusable.
And I was like, and this is why the fuck I am not dating you anymore, sir. And your mom cooks chicken in the microwave.
Oh, come on.
What?
Did he go to them? How did you not? After he said that?
You should have run the second she hit the one express button. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was a lot. We also had 2 bedrooms in our house, and one of them was his bedroom, so.
God, there's a lot of red flags there that you just apparently.
I was in my early mid 20s.
Yeah, you don't know.
What are you still making terrible
Well,
decisions.
I can beat you. So.
Oh, this is a contest. I like it.
So let me set the stage.
We talked about chasing Amy a little bit last week, and now we're.
Let me set the stage here. So I'm in 8th grade. Okay.
The most important years.
Wait, I got to verify this. This is when we had the math decathlon or whatever, the math bowl.
When we went to Math Super Bowl.
Math
That's
Super
right.
Bowl. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Super Bowl, I actually got to, participate and win.
So this is
not talking
early,
about it, right?
I believe early 8th grade. And we had there used to be dances at this little school called Hickman that was like out, in the edge. So we would go to this like old gym, remind you something from out of Hoosiers, right? This old gym, that's where the dances would be. So I'm there, I'm single, I'm ready to mingle. And so there's this beautiful girl, like just absolutely drop dead gorgeous. And I'm like, I'm going to dance with her. Right. And I had enough false confidence to be like, yeah, fuck it, I'm going to go ask. So I go ask. And we dance, like full arms fully extended, 1 foot, 2 foot, 1 foot.
With Jesus in the middle.
Yeah, I mean,
Jesus was probably involved.
Jesus was definitely.
If they're from girl from Hickman,
yeah,
Jesus was definitely involved.
He was heavily involved. It was the 3 of us. So we're dancing, and she danced with me again and again, and I'm like, man, like this is going really well. Like this girl likes me, And so this is where the part of the story gets a little fuzzy. So I'm just going to streamline it. I believe at the end of this, I was basically like, you want to go out? When you wanted to like have a girlfriend, you'd be like, will you go out with me? It didn't mean like you wanted to go on a date. It was like, are you going to be my girlfriend? So it's possible that I called her after the dance. And that's when it happened. But sometime very soon, right? Like I said, would you go out with me? And I understood her to be saying yes.
Oh, no.
So I get to school. This is Friday. So I get to school on Monday, and I'm like, yeah, I got a new girlfriend. So I'm telling this guy, we're at Math Super Bowl practice, and this guy, Adam, who, funny enough, is now a math teacher at the high school.
Yeah.
Adam's like, who's your girlfriend? I'm like, it's Alicia. And he's like, that's my cousin. And she is not your girlfriend. And I was like, come on. Yes, she is, dude. Like, I'm telling you. He's like, no, she's not. And I was like, I'm telling you, she's my girlfriend. He's like, no, she's not. He's like, I'll call her right now. So like, yeah, let's do this, right? So we go to the payphone because that's the only way we can call her at this time. So we go to the payphone, and he like rings up Alicia, and he's like, this guy says he's your girlfriend. And she's like, no, he's not.
Oh.
And I was like, wait, what? And she's like, yeah, it was a misunderstanding.
Ooh.
I got broken up with somebody that I was never dating.
All right. I'm gonna jump on the back of that real quick because you reminded me of something. 4th grade. Very kind of a similar situation.
I love
right?
this. Okay.
New girl comes to school, instant crush, and I don't know how long it took me, but I finally got the guts to ask her, "Hey, will you go with me?"
Yeah.
And that's how it was back then. Next thing you know, she's like, "Yeah." So we're going together. I'm like, "Sweet."
Yeah.
Next day, I go to school, recess. I remember I can picture it in my brain. We're lined up, getting ready to go back into class. She comes walking up to me. She's like, "We're not going out anymore."
Bro, 4th grade.
What'd you do?
And I go, "Why?" She goes, Turned around and walked off. I still
don't know
to this day. And I've asked her about it as adults just
and
for
she's
fun.
Like, I'm not telling
she has
you.
no idea, doesn't remember any of it.
She's like,
I was like, I need closure. And she won't give it to me.
I like the idea that she's still just like,
wow.
Oh, you know.
Oh, you know.
You know, and I'm not going to explain it if you don't
straight
know
up.
it.
Yeah. And I don't know.
You don't. God, that's
You know what's awesome?
amazing.
You probably like took a grape out of like Becky Sue Ellen's lunchbox,
Right.
and she was her arch nemesis.
She heard you talking shit about the New Kids on the Block. and
Yeah.
you're like,
Something. Yeah.
God dang.
Did you got? You have a breakup story that's from the same era. Didn't you get?
breakup story?
Didn't you get in trouble for like handling the inside of a chick's thigh in 4th grade?
I don't know if that,
The look on your wife's face behind you right now was fantastic.
She's like, oh, I know that move.
it was 5th grade, and we walked to the junior high for like a something
radio
concert or
days.
something.
For radio days.
That's what
that was
it
the big
was,
thing. It was like the
and-
junior high concert. That
But
was the
yeah,
deal.
but we were just like up at the top of the bleachers, and like I don't know, there was.
Why
just
do I
like,
remember you having your hand on the inside of 2 chicks' thighs at the same time? Did I make that up?
that might be me.
That was just my fantasy about what a baller you were.
Yeah. That's. I think. That's
But I
what
feel
that
like you
was.
guys got in trouble and she broke up with you because you were like trying to turn her into like a 5th grade like hoochie.
Yeah, we got detentions for it. And I think that might have been the.
That might have been
I
the
was
straw.
taking her down a bad path.
Don't move to the inside. It was like he's on top and then he just slides a little too far to the inside of the knee and it's like, fucking, you're out of here.
Thanks for
But
prefacing
then in high
sliding the
school-
inside of the knee.
Oh no, it wasn't
there.
like there wasn't any. It wasn't up
But
high. Oh no, no.
It did corrupt her though, because we know in high school she went down, some different paths that we were,
Oh,
we were
Lordy.
surprised about.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, Lordy.
that's a whole other story for another pod. Okay, so we are drafting the most memorable breakups in movie history,
Yes, we are.
and we need a draft order in order to execute this draft.
We do need a draft order, so let me click this little button right here, and
We'll chat
we'll
GPT
talk.
going.
Okay, so what I did was basically, and this was kind of clever,
Well, let's.
In that case, sir, please.
Actually, no,
Bravo.
The
that's
stage
the
is
wrong word.
yours.
It was not clever at all. All I did was I basically anonymously messaged all of you, and I said, "What would it take for you to break up with your significant other right now?"
Oh shit!
Yeah,
Can't wait
right
to hear
now.
I can't wait to hear what I said.
And
I
the
know, me
responses, oh boy, Nate, this was really surprising. This shows how good that beer is that Walter made for the BVK IPA 3, because you said for $40 and a 4-pack of BVK IPA 3, you would get rid of your significant other right now.
I think what that meant was that if I took $40 in a pack, 4-pack, she would divorce me for that.
So yeah, that's what you do, Kendra. I mean, it's funny that you mentioned Taylor Swift a little bit earlier, because you said for a 1989 Lamborghini Countach, painted with Taylor Swift on the hood. So for like the 1989,
Can I pick which outfit?
I'm sure,
Any era you
assuming.
want, any era you
And you
want.
said if you get that Lambo, you would get rid of Walter.
Who's gonna tell him? Who's gonna tell Walter?
We'll break it to him on that.
Look at me.
He's judging, so we'll break it to him a little later.
Okay.
I'll say, folks, I held out. I mean, for a little bit better. I said, a beach house in Malibu, like just overlooking the ocean.
Melissa, she's nodding. She's like, "Yeah, that checks out. I'll take half that."
But Scotch, you were the only stand-up. You said no, I wouldn't. There's no way I would
No
go ahead
fucking way.
and do that at all. Not at all. Not a chance.
Nothing you could pay me.
Not even.
Look at that guy, he's smitten.
I'm fucking happy for the
You know
first
why?
time in my life.
You know why he's
Aw,
You know why
good
he's
job,
struggling with romantic comedies? Because none of them live up to his real life.
It's true.
That's
He's
actually
like,
a fair comment.
you know what? Like this is it's none of them are this good. You know.
It only took
I
me
love it.
49 years.
Look at that goddamn.
One of these days we're gonna have to write the movie about Scotch. The Farmzician. Is that what it is?
By the way, remind me. So can I take a little bit aside? You and I need to revive our script because I'm told by the youngsters that like the 90s are fully in swing. Like Blink 182 is big again, and apparently like now they're wearing the low rise baggy jeans and shit. Like,
So, but
Yeah,
can we not just trot out our
Scrunchies,
1990s?
don't forget
I feel like we would have to make some adjustments, but there's
I don't
something
think
there.
so. I think 97. This is a movie set in 97. It's a
Oh
home run.
no! The setting is perfect. I think some of the content we would have to
I
make some
disagree.
adjustments to. I
People
don't.
still want to see titties. You know what I'm
Everyone
saying?
wants to see
Titties are timeless.
We all know.
okay?
We all know about this.
They're timeless.
know.
You know? I'm just telling you. Okay.
Okay, so was that reverse order?
Yeah, so that was Nate was definitely last. I mean, and then we've got Kendra at
Oh,
third,
God. I got the third.
myself at number 2, and Scotch, you are leading us off.
I'll ribbity wrap it.
Shindig.
All right.
Yeah, these drafts seem to not be my wheelhouse in a lot of ways, and I've decided to kind of just say fuck it and pick some stuff that I like. I'm not going to pick things I haven't seen, and that may hurt me, and I don't really care. And I'm going to have fun.
Hell yeah, you
But
are.
I'm very excited I got the first pick because I'm very glad I'm getting this very first one. An absolute brutal breakup that's also hilarious at the same time. And when you got some dick flapping, you can hear it.
Oh, that's
yeah.
absolutely.
Yep.
And just him sitting there naked, forgetting Sarah Marshall.
I think
He's
I
devastated.
believe this is one of one. Like I actually think
I think so too.
Oh,
I'm not saying that like there's not arguments, but if I have to be pushed, that would have been my 101.
It's my 100% one of one. Like I said, I'm so glad I got it because that's my kind of movie. I like a good funny so I don't really watch a ton of rom-coms. I watch some, but yeah.
I will let you know, having a little bit of inside information with our judge that could sway in your favor.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
good.
He's a big Sarah Marshall.
Don't give it away that you're going to pander to
No,
the
I'm not.
judge.
I actually have a whole list of movies
sure.
that I'm not going to say because I know he loves them. I went into this trying to.
Don't be honest.
Don't
be
have
honest.
integrity. Don't
No,
pull that
because
shit
he's
on
also
us.
going to know that it's me too.
And then he's
A few
going
things
to.
happening.
Yeah.
You're playing 4D
I'm
chess.
trying to raw dog this and just be me.
I love it. I love raw dog. Okay. All right, raw dog.
No, it's this raw dog first.
Wait, what?
You know,
Yeah, I'm 3.
you know how I do it.
Brad
Nate.
literally
You know
has
how
it.
I do it.
Brad has his
thigh.
hand on my thigh, and I'm about to break the fuck up with him. I
And
gotta
he's
tell you.
blushing, actually. Nate's blushing. Don't be fooled.
I am.
All right.
I got a little close for comfort, but then I kind of liked it, and I didn't know how to feel about it.
There we go.
I don't know what's going to
I
happen.
think I heard more dick sounds flapping.
Yeah, tables on 2 legs at this point. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so the first one that came to mind, and I don't know if it's the best and if it's going to resonate, but it's one that just popped in my head, and I still think it's a pretty good one. I'm going to go ahead and take Jerry Maguire when he gets just straight beat up for trying to break up with his girlfriend.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's just kind of out of the blue because like at first she kind of plays like she's hurt,
Yep.
and then she says, "I will not let you hurt me," and just beats the fuck out of him.
I'm actually a little bit bummed out. I didn't even think of that one.
So it's interesting because, well, I won't comment, but that's a good one.
I like that one.
Okay.
I know, I know
You
what
can't
you
hurt
think.
me, loser.
Loser. Oh, that's a good one.
I'm too strong for you.
This is also after they like
And it's
do the
Kel-
naked dinner.
And it's Kelly
at the
Preston.
table.
Yeah, dude, it's Kelly Preston. That
Kelly
hurts even
Preston,
a little bit
man.
more.
Ooh,
She was a smoke show back in the day.
Yeah. Yep. And
All the
not
shows.
that far back in the day either.
I know.
For a long time. Yeah.
Excuse me.
Okay.
Kendra.
Kendra's up in the 3 spots.
Okay.
Let's do this, Kendo.
So I'm going to start this first round and take it very literal with memorable breakup.
You're gonna go a little emotional.
Yes and no. But if we're talking about the most memorable movie breakups of all time, I don't know how your first pick can't be Casablanca.
Right.
That's a great.
So that was where I didn't want to go because I haven't seen it, and it seems like every
It's-
time I go for those big iconic amazing movies, it always hurts me. So I'm just saying, fuck it. If I haven't seen it, I'm not going to pick it. But I'm
Yeah.
not going to
Here's
fault you
looking
for
at
that.
you, kid.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
iconic. It's
that's
amazing.
A
Yeah.
line that
I mean,
like transcends.
There's a whole 5-minute
everything.
part in my favorite rom-com movie about it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
I love it. It's good.
Yeah, I mean, and obviously that could 100% be argued as one of one all-time greatest line for.
I will say, I don't think that this is my one of one.
Okay.
My one of one will. Depending on how you guys go, I might be able to keep it till the end. So I'm gonna see.
Dude,
Well, I mean, the interesting thing about Casablanca is it's a breakup, but she's already married. It's like, I mean, it's like,
Yeah.
it's like
They're-
she's kind of releasing her more than anything, but
Yeah, I feel but it's like
but it's an emotional breakup.
they're
It's still a
choosing
breakup
not-
of a
yeah,
relationship.
They're choosing not
Yeah.
to continue.
Mm-hmm.
All
All
right.
right, who we got
Nate.
in the wrap?
Apparito.
So this one
$40 and a 4-pack.
So this one
Get you the 4th pick.
this one gives me the 4th pick and the 5th pick. It's a kind of a bargain.
Discount. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So this one's like not funny at all. Then this one's like heavy, and it's happens to be from one of my favorite movies, and so it's a very helpful, like, you know, it squares all the way around for me. And it's Skylar and Will breaking up in Good Will Hunting,
Yep.
right? And like it starts off so like sweet, you know, and it comes out of nowhere, which is what I like so much about it, and then it becomes so both emotionally and sort of physically violent. And it's just like it really like guts you when it happens.
Well, speaking of gutted, like when he leaves and she's just sitting there and she's just like,
She can't breathe. Like, she literally is like out of, she can't catch her breath. And he's walking and like, he's upset, but you can see him coming down. You can watch him like the adrenaline leaving and him just like starting to recognize like as even just his body language that he's like,
he fucked up.
I fucked up. Like, and he's, it's like, and he immediately starts making stories up in the next scenes with people, but like, he knows that like he messed up. So
that's definitely an out of nowhere. Like, I mean, you knew there was going to be a conflict, but like it gets intense super quick, punching the wall and
so this one is the much tougher one for me. I think this is where you like can go in any direction. But I think for me, because of the line, maybe because of the like intensity of the movie in general, I gotta go with I Can't Quit You. Or I Wish I Could Quit You. Mm-hmm. Right. So like the final sort of like breakup,
can't quit you in.
Yeah. And in some ways, right, it's hard to identify a particular scene. So I'll pick that one because of the line, because in some ways, right, it's always a like uncertain future for them. But like, I wish I knew how to quit you. Right. But that's kind of the final like straw between them. And it's really I remember at the time seeing it. How old's that movie now? Got to be close.
I was in high school. I want to say no. It's probably
15,
it came in like 2004.
Yeah, I'd say 20 years.
It's 20.
Why am I brain farting on the name of this movie?
Brokeback
Mountain.
Thank you.
I've
never seen it. Actually,
2005. So
in some ways, like the movie, it becomes more heartbreaking as time goes on. Yeah. Because at the time, right, like you're still, and maybe because of my age and maybe because of my parochialism, but you're still seeing it from the perspective of being like, yeah, but like this is, something that's like different, and it's understandable like why there was so much tension, because you're seeing them react in an environment that like it is very, forbidden, especially because they're cowboys and all these things.
Right.
And you see it now and you're just like, what the fuck, man? Like, why, like, why does this have to be such a terrible ending? Right. Like,
so sad when he like goes and just like holds his shirt on his face.
Yeah. So like, I don't know, for me, I think that the breakup in some ways like becomes harder to watch or harder to think about even as time goes on, where the movie stands still. So anyway, that's my wrap.
All right. Kendra.
Oh, God. Okay. Excuse me.
Easy call then coming.
For my God, I'm feeling very conflicted right now. For my next one, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to do what I think my number one is, and that is when Bernadine is pissed off because her husband cheated on her with a white woman and puts all of his shit in his car and lights it on fire in front of their house and waiting to exhale. And
that's
she's
a great one.
It's so good. I love that. That's like when you told me that this was the draft. That's the first thing that popped in my head.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Never.
I mean, it's a baller move to be like, I'm going to move all your shit out just so I can light it on fire in your car. Mm-hmm. Like, you're just like, no, I'm going to put some effort into this and like really fuck your shit up. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's solid.
Oh.
Yeah, this I wasn't made for this draft, because those are the type of picks I just am fucking clueless on, man. There's so many movies where I'm just like, sure, I bet it was great.
So I'll find just the clip of that, because it's like a 2-minute.
It sounds intense.
Later.
It sounds amazing. But
it's good.
That's why I just kind of, it sucks because I'm kind of at a disadvantage here, because there's probably some great ones. I just haven't seen the movies.
Yeah.
But.
Well, you got one of one.
Well, I think it's going to go downhill from there, because it's about to get.
I'm real curious, because
wait.
maybe it'll be better than you think.
Yeah.
All right, Bradford. Whose thigh you got your hand on now?
All right, so this time around, I'm gonna go with this a breakup that leads to one of the most romantic scenes in a movie.
Okay.
But the breakup is classic just because she gave me a pen. Say anything when Lloyd gets broken up with, and her dad tells her to give him a pen. And so she says she's going to try to concentrate on her studies, and she gives him a nice.
I gave her my heart.
She gave me a pen.
It's a great line.
So
it's brutal.
It's that's a solid.
And
pick right
he's passionately in love with her, and it just goes bad. But then, of course, it leads to the boombox. So
right
there you go.
Yeah,
All-timer.
it does work out. That is the one thing about this category. It's like,
well, do they break up for good or not?
right.
And this is
will our judge, factor that or not care? So it could be.
I don't know. I don't know what that was.
earlier he said that he fully intended to embrace the fact that he's going to have a lot of categories that he then ultimately completely ignores,
Right.
and follows his heart. Which I was like, you totally understand how to judge this thing.
Yeah.
It's nailed. You nailed this.
Right?
Okay.
All right, Scotchy Poo.
I got two here. Now, when I think of a brutal breakup or brutal way to get broken up with, can't get much worse than being left at the altar. And so I'm thinking of Robbie Hart.
Damn, good
When
one.
she doesn't show up in the
solidly
Wedding
on
Singer.
my list. I also got to say that that one gets points for me for just him screaming in her face.
Could have told me yesterday.
Things that would have been useful to know yesterday. I mean, I literally don't think I ever hear the word yesterday without screaming that in my head.
Yeah. Great scene, and that's a great character. I saw her in something recently. I was like, oh my god, it's freaking Linda, and I hadn't seen her in anything else yet. And I was excited that I saw that actress because she's so great in that. You're a bitch. Okay,
We got one more here.
one more on this little turn, and I've got it written second. I'm going to choose violence, and
I love violence.
anytime I get to do a really, really shitty impersonation, consider it a divorce.
Oh, shit.
Total Recall, and Arnold Schwarzenegger shoots Sharon Stone.
That's a great breakup scene.
But we're married. Consider it a divorce.
It's not a bad impression either. I'm on board.
When we get back, I need you guys, especially you music aficionados, to ask our fucking judge to do his god awful Bob Dylan impression.
Oh, yeah.
And then chastise the shit out of him.
I can't wait for this.
Terrible.
I cannot wait.
I'm in.
Yeah, I thought about holding on to that one, but for some reason I thought maybe Brad might sneak in with that one, but
Wasn't on my list.
I thought about saving it for the last round.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Oh man, now I've got my two here that I can go with, but I'm gonna go one that I just think it's such a great scene, and it sets up the movie so perfectly because you immediately kind of start to get who this character is, even though it's a real person. When you have Mark Zuckerberg at a little restaurant with his girlfriend.
I knew that's what you were talking
In the
about.
conversation, he thinks he's having this kind of just chill conversation, but he starts to, be quite negative to her, and it really starts to just eat at her, and she starts to realize, and then at finally she kind of stops him, and she's like, you know what? One of these days you're going to think that girls don't like you because you're a nerd, and it's not because of that. It's because you're an asshole. And he still doesn't really seem to process it, but it kind of sets the whole tone for
You love that movie, right?
Oh, I do love that movie.
Social Network, you're kind of a fanboy for.
I am a fanboy for that movie. I really dig that scene.
I don't like that movie.
I never got through it. I tried.
Oh, I like that movie. I think it's definitely a good one.
I need to try again.
I fall asleep every time. I've never seen the whole thing.
I remember when I tried it. It was a night where I was like, I shouldn't be starting this, and I did. And I was like, yeah. And then I just never got back to it. But I've heard, and I love what's his face who
and I
wrote
haven't
it.
watched it since college. I should probably try again.
Who wrote it? Freaking
The writer?
the writer.
I wanna say
Social Network.
The writer's Aaron Sorkin.
Thank you.
And it's
Sorkin.
Fincher.
And I love all of his stuff. So, and I love Fincher.
Okay.
I don't love Heisenberg though. Kind of bugs me.
But I think he's perfect for that role.
Exactly.
The way he plays.
He
it.
is.
Yeah, he plays it perfect.
All right, Kendra. You've got Cars Burnt.
Did
and
you
you've
call
got
it
Did you just
Kenja?
skip yourself? No, you did. You just went.
He's on Social Network.
We
Kenja?
just did social network.
Kendra.
Kendra.
Hey, Kenja.
You were a ninja.
Kendra.
Baby Kendra.
Kendra.
Okay, Kendra's gonna go.
Ooh, third person. I like it. This shit's coming
And
down
you
the
can let
hill.
me know. I'll say this. You can let me know if you don't want to count this.
Okay. This is one of
Because
my
it's
moves.
kind of sort of the whole movie ish. Kind of.
I already know.
You
where
can't
you're
go the whole movie.
I already go to where you're going. I think you can pick any
You fuckers
scene.
better get on her as much like you do.
Pick any scene.
But is it? I was gonna say Gone Girl
Oh.
because
shit,
the
that's not
breakup
what I was
is
thinking.
pretending to be dead and disappear and all that. But I can do something else
Oh, I think
if we don't want to.
I haven't seen it, but
I think you could.
she can't pick the whole movie.
because there's
right?
not like a breakup scene. It's that she
No,
The breakup is just in her disappearing and framing.
I think
death.
that's fair. She disappeared.
Okay, then I'm gonna go Gone Girl.
Her when she disappears.
Because her, not wanting to be in that relationship anymore, she really takes to the next level.
I put she disappears and dies. Quotation marks.
Spoiler alert.
Like it. Okay.
Spoiler alert. Sorry, Scott.
That wasn't where I thought you were going to
He was planning to watch it tonight when we first got here.
I've had it spoiled many
I think I'm going to watch it.
So long ago, I saw an article about it and it spoiled it.
There you go.
So we have not to this point mentioned our absent colleague Zach. I'm tempted to take one that he really loves just in his honor, but
Forgetting Sarah Marshall went number 1. That's like one of his favorites.
Oh, yeah.
but fuck him. I'm not doing it. Okay, so
Did you say butt fuck him?
yeah, but fuck him. Okay. Don't challenge. Hey, don't challenge my sexuality here. I'll prove everyone wrong. Okay. All right. So
Big guy.
let's see here. I'm going to take one here that is kind of weird, but I love it because Scotty doesn't know. I'm going to take Euro Trip, and I'm going to take the breakup scene where she gets on stage and sings Scotty doesn't know.
Yeah, Matt Damon.
Yeah,
And yeah, I love that pick. That pick
it's kind of a
screwed me over in a previous draft.
The problem with that one is it's a little bit of an unknown movie, but the Scotty doesn't know is
when I watched that scene after not knowing about it because I never saw Euro Trip, it was funny. I was just like, holy
hilarious.
shit! To just be standing there, and all of a sudden the words start to resonate. You're like, wait a second, he's singing about me.
So trusting when I'm right behind you, thrusting. It's great.
So good.
It's such a good song.
She's up there saying, Scotty doesn't know. So now I've got 2 Damon, which I feel good about. My final one, I hope, is just going to absolutely tear Brad's heart out because
I think I know where you're going.
You got to take Chasing Amy if you're taking breakup scenes.
Now, this is interesting because
I know what you're going to say, and I don't know the answer. I'm going to just say words and then see what comes out.
Well, let's see. Which part are you talking about? I want to hear specifically which part are we talking about?
I'm going to take the final scene where he proposes the threesome. And it doesn't fly, and that's it. That's the breakup. Because there's an earlier scene where they have what I would consider to be a major fight, but I don't think they're broken up until he's the clear thing that has to happen is that we all have to have sex together. Yeah. And she's just fuck you. This is, you don't know you clearly don't care about me.
Well, there was 2 ways I thought you might go. It's one, the painting, which that sets off their first fight. And then, of course, the hockey game.
Yeah, so the hockey game, right, is the one where I think that's the one. If you look at lists, they talk about that one, right? She talks about fucking the 2 guys or whatever. And
because he played it all, tried to be all sly about it.
Yeah, and she's just calls him out, and then he chases her out, out of the rink, and it's a thing. But I don't think it's over until he's I have the solution, and she's just it's over. Yeah.
What she said, I think she says, because I'm not your fucking whore.
Because I'm not your fucking whore.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. That's a good one, and it was on my list, but I did not take it. So
is your heart ripped out?
No, actually.
I thought this one would be one that you'd really.
I talked it up last week, so I'm happy.
Okay, Kendra, final pick.
All right, I think I'm gonna derail off of the seriousness that I've taken for most of the other ones.
Do one for Walty.
No, I can't. There's one that if I did, no, I can't. Anyways, this one I'm doing because it's the breakup that you've been waiting the whole movie for, and it happens, and everyone's excited, and it's at, I don't even remember her name, but Alan and someone's wedding when Stu walks up to Melissa, and they're bitching at each other. And he's like, it's been over since you fucked the waiter on your cruise last June. Boom.
Yep.
And I'm taking that.
She is just, that actress.
know.
Oh, man.
She plays the biggest horrible bitch.
Well, and then Alan tries to walk up right after, get the fuck away, or whatever.
She says, suck my dick.
Oh, yeah, she says, suck my dick.
It's no, thank you.
I love love that. I love it so much. So I love Stu. I think he's probably my favorite in that movie.
I mean, he's just he plays it perfect because he's like
Ed Helms killed
the
him.
ultimate guy who like is so. I mean, I've been that guy.
Yeah.
For at different times in my life, and like he does it well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does it well.
Yeah, it's so good.
Bradley.
All right. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and read a little monologue.
Oh God.
Listen, Coop, last night was really great. You were incredibly romantic and heroic, no doubt about it. And that's great. But I thought about it, and my thing is this. Andy is really hot. And don't get me wrong, you're cute too, but Andy is like cut from marble. He's gorgeous.
I know.
He has this beautiful face and this incredible body, and I genuinely don't care that he's kind of lame. I don't even care that he cheats on me. And I like you more than I like Andy, Coop, but I'm 16, and maybe it'll be a different story when I'm ready to get married, but right now, I'm entirely about sex. I just want Andy. I just want to take him and grab him and fuck his brains out, So that's where my priorities are right now. Sex. Specifically with Andy and not with you. But you're really nice. I'm going wet, hot American summer.
If I was judging, that would get so many points in the final
I have
round.
that one on my list. But
Damn it.
That's Katie's breakup with Coop, and he just thinks he's doing so well with her, and nope, she's going back to...
That is not on my list. I'm mad that it isn't at least on my list. I don't know how many people have seen that movie. Wet Hot American Summer is fucking bonkers. If you haven't,
I plan to go as soon as like Melissa and I were talking about him, and she brought that one up to me, and I was like, okay, yeah, I just need to read the monologue because it's so terrific.
Yeah,
and it's I mean, just being as real as high schoolers are. I mean, that's kind of how high school relationships are, without being that obviously verbose about it. But I mean, that's kind of what happens, and he's kind of the nice guy and gets shit on. In a very terrible and public way.
You feel so shitty for him too. Okay. Well, for better or for worse, my 1 through 4 are all on my team, which is fantastic for me.
I think that's a great.
And I think I feel great about that. And I'm probably gonna lose, whatever. And I have a little mini theme going here. I'm going with another headshot. Bill, it's your beep. Kill Bill.
Yep.
When he shoots Beatrix in the head.
Ooh.
Oh shit.
Wow, that's a sneaky one.
So yeah, that's pretty much it's over at that point.
Wow.
Hey, the judge had a good run with Kill Bill last time, so maybe the vibe will cross over.
Oh, maybe. You never know. But yeah.
Well, I like it.
So,
I like a lot of violent, but there's a lot of violent breakups there.
I chose violence and a little bit of dick wagon. That was my theme.
Dick wagon has its own sort of violence.
Yeah,
it can.
It does.
Yeah.
Depending on your dick, I guess. I don't have a very violent dick wagon.
And your wag. You know what I mean? All right. So let's
Wags and whiskers.
let's put this one in the chamber and see what comes out, huh?
Yeah, let's find out what our judge thinks.
This episode is brought to you by Bumble. So, you want to find someone you're compatible with, specifically someone who's ready for a serious connection, totally open to having kids in the future, is a tall, rock-climbing Libra, and loves rom-coms with vegan pizzas on Tuesdays just as much as you do. Bumble knows that you know exactly what's right for you. So whatever it is you're looking for, Bumble's features can help you find it. Date now on Bumble.
Are you a fan of all things nerdy? Do you love delving into the latest pop culture trends while also staying updated on the news of the day?
Hey there, fellow enthusiasts. Professor Aubrey here, and I'm thrilled to invite you to join us on Friends Talking Nerdy podcast, where we dive deep into all things geeky, from movies and TV shows to video games and comics.
That's right, folks. It's Tim the Nerd, your friendly neighborhood geek, ready to discuss the latest professional wrestling updates alongside our takes on tech innovations and the entertainment industry.
But that's not all. We also understand the importance of mental health, and we weave in thoughtful discussions on self-care and mindfulness.
So, if you want to geek out while also taking care of your well-being, tune in to Friends Talking Nerdy.
Friends Talking Nerdy, where pop culture meets mindfulness. Listen now on all major podcast platforms.
Metrics, YouTube assist. Gonna point out all the shit that we missed. It's the draft judge, crushing dreams once again.
It is that time. Whilst we are judged. I don't think whilst is a word.
Whilst?
Yeah, I was close.
I said whilst.
Less
You did.
maybe.
I don't think whilst.
Say it with an accent.
I don't think whilst would have been correct, but I still like whilst a lot.
West.
It's the past tense of whilst,
Sounded almost right.
but also the future tense. What's up, Walter?
What's up, guys?
So you're here to judge.
I am the judger.
Earlier, you were like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to come up with a bunch of categories. I'm going to get real complicated about it, and then I'm going to ignore them all when I judge. And I was like, you understood the assignment.
Yeah.
So
Did my best.
tell us a little bit, Walter, about how you tried to both at the same time favor and yet disfavor your wife.
No,
How did you do that?
So I put all of the draft picks into an AI generator and asked it to judge for me. And so that's
Brilliant.
what it is.
Love it.
Love it.
So-
That's a good idea.
Is that really what you
It's all
did?
robot generated.
This is in the spirit of the
No,
draft.
no, it's not. That's not what I did.
I wonder if that would work, actually. That's a good point. Hank,
I wonder just in real life how many people have like AI generated like a breakup letter.
I bet a lot more now.
Yeah, as I'm saying, I bet
Well,
there's some people nowadays.
Well, because they
that
have a thing now where you can actually like have AI reply to texts and stuff for you. Like I saw this ad for this where they're like the response is just hit the button. It says. gives the
See this?
response.
I don't like this.
No, I don't either.
I don't like where we're going.
I do. Eventually, I just want to sit on my couch and let AI do
Wally.
nothing.
Well, we mentioned a little bit a couple podcasts ago, and I sent around to the group a little bit. Like I took Smokescreen, which was the Flying Blind song, and I was making it a heroin song. I was making it a cocaine song, and like just playing around with it. And then I made it Anakin Skywalker, just being sad that all Queen Amidala wants him to do is to kill little Jedis.
Yeah.
It was about Smokescreen. It was like the same verse structure, and like it's basically got the same rhythms. She only likes me when I'm a bad
I love it
Jedi.
that you have the time to do this. Like
It took me
that's
like
what makes
5
me
minutes.
happy.
I was
Well,
sitting there,
amazing,
and
yeah.
actually I kept yelling them at Melissa, and she was like, "Shut up! Quit saying these."
Fuck up. Go clean a toilet. All right. So
Much like Kendra just said, I don't like where this is going. That's a great breakup line. And part of my judge criteria was whether or not there was a memorable line
love that.
that played a role. I only assigned point values to each pick in each round is what I did. from
Okay, so you can be 1 through 4 in
of
each round.
Correct. And a lot of these movies I either haven't seen in a long time or I hadn't seen, period. So I had to look up a lot of YouTube scenes.
A lot of YouTube assists, as the old Scotch Beck.
Yeah.
would have
So,
said.
knowing a little bit about the films themselves, if I hadn't seen them, just kind of knowing about them and then watching the scene is kind of all the context I have for some of these.
Right.
just
So
so
how many
guys
would you
know.
say you had seen prior to?
Let me see.
How many have you seen?
Yeah, so looking at the list, movies that I had seen overall, at probably just over, probably about 3/4 of them.
Okay.
Maybe just under
Oh, that's
3/4 of them,
pretty
but that I've seen and remembered.
Right.
That's different.
Okay.
Probably
which is key with memorable.
Yeah,
You never
yeah.
know. Yeah.
Maybe about half of them that I've seen and could recall the scene without looking it up.
I already forgot the movie we did last week.
So in,
Monty Python.
Thank you.
so in each round,
No, was it?
Last week you guys talked
sleep with
about
other
Like we talked
sleeping
about
with
sleeping with other people.
Yeah, I thought we talked about
Like a podcast before.
that's how you know. That's how you know Kendra's a real fan because she's like the last one I
Listening to it
heard.
this morning.
Yes.
Okay, so that means that in each round, the 4 is the most points you can get. That's the best, is to get a 4.
Correct. Yes. So
We're not doing golf
Not
scoring.
golf scoring.
If you
Okay.
swept it, you'd get 16. If you just got
Right.
top for all rounds, okay.
Correct.
And
So
were
if
there
you-
bonus points too?
There were no bonus points because I didn't need them.
Okay.
There wasn't any ties. There wasn't any that I thought were too close in each individual round to have to assign a bonus point to pick one over the other. I guess the bonus point would be which one I liked better. I guess so. I guess there is some some subjectivity there.
The rest of it, 100% objective, but that
Yes,
one piece,
hugely. It's that one thing.
Okay, perfect. All right, so as is the custom, what we would like to have you do is, without identifying the teams associated,
Yeah.
We would love to have you just give us the scores from bottom to top.
Sure. So the last place team had 7 points.
7 of 16 possible.
Third place team had 9 points.
9, tight. Okay.
Then 11 points.
Okay.
And the winning team had 14.
Okay. So it's a pretty like evenly steady spacing. 14 is a lot.
7 to 14 isn't. The bottom was 7 and the top was 14. That is pretty close.
Well,
yeah,
yes and no.
In the world in which
Leave me alone, guys.
If this podcast, over the years, if we were like very nice to each other and shared, a lot of like teamwork and like, we're all in this together.
We love you. We love you.
I would agree.
If you're dumb, Kendra. Okay, that's cool.
I know.
Okay, so let's start with let me ask you this. Were there any like general observations about the overall impression of the draft? Like, do you feel like it was more of a funny comedic draft? Like, where did it go?
So I liked the mix of genre and scene, because there were definitely, even in some of the comedy movies, the scenes were not comedic. They were very kind of real and heartfelt and more dramatic than they were comedic. So I liked that there was a mixture of the kind of comedic breakup scenes and the dramatic, serious breakup scenes. Looking here, it kind of skewed one way, and I didn't realize that until I just re-looked over the scores as to which one might have done better out of those two kinds of different scenes. So.
All right, we're about to find out. So in fourth place with 7 points, which team?
7 points, Team 2.
Team 2 includes Jerry Maguire. Jerry gets his ass kicked after breakup. Say Anything. I gave her my heart. She gave me a pen. The Social Network. Mark gets called an asshole. And Wet Hot American Summer. Katie breaks up with Coop.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I kind of felt the last place coming.
No, it's been a while. He's been on a hell of a run the last few drafts.
Yeah. So I was, and you know what? I mean, we at some point we will hit bevometrics from last year. But
we never did.
We have not, but that's all right. But
which was his best round? Which was his worst?
So I
think I got 3 1s and a 4. Would that be correct?
You are correct. Yeah, you got 3 1s and a 4. That's how you get to 7.
What was his 4?
His 4 was the Social Network.
Okay.
Yeah,
oh shit.
That makes sense.
Okay. That was the 4. So in the third round there, that was the best pick.
Looking across that round, that's the one I thought I was like, okay, I think I'm going to win that one.
Now, are you a fan of Wet Hot American Summer? Have you seen it before?
I don't think I've ever seen that movie all the way through.
Okay.
When I watched the scene, I mean, without a ton of context to it, I did kind of chuckle because I know what the movie's about. I kind of know the gist of the movie, so it did make me laugh still a little bit. But I just compared to the other scenes in that round.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Paul Rudd is such a turd in Wet Hot American Summer. And like the fact that that's who she's going for is so funny.
Great.
But yeah, the Social Network was your best pick, and then every other pick that you made was the worst pick.
Dog shit. Yeah,
so
perfect.
Jerry Maguire, I thought it was a reach at the number 2 overall,
so?
and
I agree.
Got shamed by the other picks. No, when the Goodwill came out at the 4th pick, I was like, damn it, I'm fucked because that's. I was hoping somehow that would get around to me, and I don't know why I thought it would.
Yeah, no, the Jerry Maguire scene. I mean, it's not. I don't think that it's not memorable because Tom Cruise gets beat up, right? But it was the worst one in that round, and mostly because other than him getting hit and beat up, there's really nothing super memorable about. There's no one-liner. There's no. I don't think anything that's super emotional in it. So I just thought that was the worst pick of the round.
All right, so in third place with I believe 9 points
Yes,
was
9 points.
which team?
That was Team 3.
Team 3 includes Casablanca. Rick makes her Ilsa leave. Waiting to Exhale burns his car with all his stuff. Gone Girl, she disappears and quote unquote dies. And The Hangover, Stu dumps Melissa.
So how long do you think it's going to be before you get laid now?
Not as long as the last time when he beat me by not even having anything put together.
Was that your team?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's okay.
She was trying to double cross the triple cross.
I was.
Confuse you.
Oh, with the third pick, I mean, no one usually the third pick's hard to win from. Right?
It's hard
to
win from.
That's
kind of the
historically the tough spot. So what was her best round?
So her best round was Definitely round 2, Waiting to Exhale.
Oh, yeah. She was pretty hyped about that.
She showed me that scene.
Yeah.
I'd never seen the movie. She showed me the scene, and I was like, wow.
Well, how many did she get? 3 for that one?
She got 3 in that in that one, and I've not ever seen the movie.
Really?
But in watching that scene, especially the way it ends with it's Angela Bassett, right, with her just kind of walking away, swaying her hips
Car
and a
exploding.
cigarette in her hands and the car. It's the cool guy walking away from the explosion, right? That's pretty memorable. So that was the second best pick in that round, and that was her best pick overall.
Now, I would like to throw out some major props because she did say there were some picks that she held back on because she knew they might be a little bit pandersome. So let's give her some.
That sounds to me like excuses for when you know you're not going to win.
When we get there to all friends later, and I say them, and he says, "Oh yeah, that probably would have won." We'll see.
Looking across the bottom round, how did the Hangover? Because when she picked Stu Dumps Melissa, I was like,
That's a
"Holy
pretty good
shit,
one,
that
yeah.
is a great one at the end of a great movie."
I think it was a great one too. I just in the round that it's in with the other picks that are there, it got 2 points, so it was the third best pick in that round, I guess. At least how I scored it.
Yeah, what he's saying is that because there was one dog shit pick that went behind it, it saved it from being last. Okay, so now in second place with what I believe is 11 points, and incidentally revealing the winner. What do we got?
So with 11 points in second place is Team 1.
Team 1 includes Forgetting Sarah Marshall, Naked Breakup, The Wedding Singer, Left at the Altar, Total Recall, Arnold shoots Sharon Stone, and Kill Bill, Bill shoots Beatrix.
That growling is the team number 4.
Okay, all right. I wasn't sure how to react to that.
Hey, we're talking about Team 1. Why don't you slow your roll?
Steroidal, homicidal, erectile explosion about to happen right here. But let's talk about
This is how people act when they haven't won a draft in maybe like 17 years.
Let's talk about season. Let's talk about Team 1 first, though. I'll take a little break.
All right.
So Team 1 did have a 4. Yeah, they did have a best pick of a round, and that was the fourth round.
Oh,
that was Kill Bill.
Wow.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall did not get number 1.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall did not get number 1 in that round.
Wow.
It did not.
Interesting.
Okay.
So yeah, Kill Bill was your best pick, and getting that at the end, it kind of sets, there's no story there, right? If she doesn't get killed, right? So it's Tarantino, it's in black, like it's just, I think the best pick in that low. Okay. I think that could have been a round 1 or round 2 pick.
Damn.
I told you. I said, Kill Bill and our judge. They got a thing.
The only thing about that pick is that essentially they're broken up before this because she's about to marry another dude.
Yeah, that pretty much seals it.
I mean, they're broken up already. She's at the altar when Bill shows up.
Well, maybe he didn't break up.
Yeah, he wasn't over it until
somebody didn't break up.
Sounds like fourth place and a lot of opinions going on here.
Yeah, it sure does.
I'll go get that grenadine. My bad.
Okay, so what about the what was
Sarah Marshall?
Yeah,
so that was the third best pick in the round.
Third best.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, because obviously we know who won now,
right?
But it's memorable. But I just think that there's a pick in that round that was more memorable than that, and maybe that's just definitely came down to maybe a personal preference.
So wait, you're saying that was the third best of the round?
Yes.
So Casablanca was number 2 or number 1?
Number 2.
Number 2, which makes sense. Iconic.
Yeah.
Okay.
So no, it was that got the 2 points. Casablanca did. Oh, Good Will Hunting was the best pick of that round in my opinion.
And
so Forgetting Sarah Marshall got 3 points.
It was the second best.
Okay. Third, it was 3 points. Second best.
I was confused as well.
Okay.
3 points, second best pick in the round.
Okay.
I mean,
that's it.
And then which one did you like the least out of those?
Out of your picks?
Yeah.
Total Recall had to get a 1,
Recall?
right?
No, it didn't.
Oh wow!
It didn't. Gone Girl got a 1 in that round. I don't. Maybe I'm in the minority. I don't love the movie. I was like, yeah, she looks like a psycho, and then the whole it just. But I find nothing about that movie. Anything that
should go in the back of the box.
Cool. Yeah.
That's a hint, Kendra. Just don't pull that shit. Okay.
But yeah, I think Forgetting Sarah Marshall was the second best pick of that round, so it got 3 points in round 1. The Wedding Singer was the third best pick of round 2, so it got 2 points.
Right.
Total Recall the same in the third round. It got 2 points. And then Kill Bill, as I said, was the best pick of the fourth round.
Gotcha.
So.
All right, good. We've spent a lot of time on that. Okay, let's move on.
Team 4.
Who was Team 4? I don't even. It's been a while.
Probably the Neanderthal that was breathing heavily into the microphone for a while.
Team 4 with 11.5 points was Good Will Hunting. Will breaks up with Skylar. Brokeback Mountain. I wish I knew how to quit you. Euro Trip. Scotty doesn't know. And Chasing Amy proposes the threesome, and she dumps.
That's a Mount Rushmore of breakups right there. That's the Mount Rushmore.
You're the fucking worst.
I mean, also we're either.
I wish Brad would win again.
You know what? I never get tired of.
You called Matty Marlowe the worst last.
Matt
2
Marlowe
weeks ago,
I
so.
never get tired of Scott rediscovering how terrible I am as a winner. It's like winning twice. You know what I mean?
At least it's rare.
So it was a very Matt Damon adjacent team, huh? So,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sure
Yes,
was.
Damon was in 3 of his movies that he chose.
But you had I think that Good Will Hunting was the best pick of the first round. Just the way that happens. So all of these scenes, other than Euro Trip, which I didn't pick as the best pick of the third round, but the second best, were all very kind of real scenes, right? They were very dramatic, and they were very serious, and they were very, I guess, heart-wrenching, for lack of a better term. Whereas, say, for Sarah Marshall, just kind of, he's sad and his dick's out, but it's just not as heart-wrenching, And so I think Good Will Hunting was the best pick in round 1, Brokeback in round 2. Brokeback Mountain, like, how often does that line just get repeated through pop culture, right? I wish I knew how to quit you. It's one of the best lines in a romantic movie, I think, that's ever been written, because it gets used and reused so much, not just in a dramatic context, but in a comedic context, and kind of all throughout.
It's also
media.
It's also transcendent, right? Of like relationships. It's like the demise of a relationship is almost always somebody is struggling to like let go of the other one, right? And they desperately want to.
It's also what I said to the 49ers after the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I know it is.
Good Will Hunting the same. I mean, when he leaves the room and she's just kind of left there, it's almost as though, because she does end up kind of letting out a cry, but it seems it's like she's almost muted by her grief. Nothing's coming out because she just can't find anything else to say.
Got the wind knocked out.
Yeah, so that was pretty gut wrenching there. And I mean, Euro Trip, it's just a great song
Scotty
too, right?
Know.
He just doesn't know.
Scotty doesn't know.
And that was better than Total Recall and Gone Girl. I don't think that on its own it was obviously the second best pick, but that's because the other 2 picks behind it were pretty bad.
You know, you only got to be as good as
Your opponents.
your second best.
And the same with
challenger.
Chasing Amy round 4. I mean, it wasn't the best pick of that round, but it was, once again, it was very emotional and very, very just kind of, it seemed like she went to a place, I forget the actress's name now.
Oh, it's
Joey Lauren.
Joey, she went to a place where maybe like she felt this and she had to get that out of her to get that scene. And it's, Ben Affleck, I think Ben Affleck's kind of a dick, right? Like, especially in that scene where he's like, and she says, "Oh, if I slept with every woman in New York, you're cool with that." But then, I tell you about these guys I slept with, and it's a problem. It's like, because then his ego's hurt, right? Now he's insecure. Now he doesn't feel great. So I think it's just a great kind of realistic portrayal of 2 people who fell apart a little bit.
God, Walter's such an insightful judge. Like he really gets it. He really nails it. And it's just, it's like, that's, if he was on every time, I feel like the right result would come out every time. I'm just saying that. Right?
Hey, are you guys ready for Also Rants? Let's go.
Get the fuck out of here.
I just don't understand. It's also rants. You idiots.
I would like to say, though, that we, our good friend Zach isn't here tonight, but we did send the results to him, and he actually had made a better choice.
Did he vote you?
I won.
But Nate got second. So now Nate's got a first and a second.
Yeah.
Now it's just helping his
But
ego.
basically, anybody out there who wants to, send us what their results are. My brother does it all the time. He sends me what he thinks, and everybody has different opinions. Everybody has different tastes in movies, and it's kind of fun. So
Be our champions.
anybody who wants to send in their results, send them to our messenger on Instagram or Facebook.
I know Jason's going to weigh in here.
Yeah, Jason likes to weigh in. And
what about our Aussie friends? We haven't heard from.
Well, Stevie Johnson, he was on this.
Yeah,
He
Stevie.
gave us
jumps
some
on.
props a couple weeks
ones
ago.
ago. Let's hear some more from Down Under.
I have a question. So Kendra wouldn't tell me much about what her thought process was going into the draft to avoid any sort of potential,
Pandering.
collusion and pandering.
Yeah. Right.
So you had the third pick. Were you able to get, because it seemed like you felt you had a pretty solid one of one.
Mine
in your
was
head.
the waiting to exhale was my
Okay.
one of one.
Okay. So, but you're able to get it in the second round then, right? Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. All right. Awesome. I was just curious if you had got that from the 3rd position or not.
I thought about waiting, but I ended up not.
Okay, so
It was on my list. So
Yeah.
and I'm not familiar with Moo, but Melissa made me watch the scene earlier today. So
she's nodding contentedly back
She
there.
gets it.
So, Walter, give us a few of your, like, what are the ones that you really, that,
Can I guess the two?
no, she cannot.
I honestly,
I would like to see if he says one that you held back to see if he.
How about this? I will show him,
Okay.
and then you say.
I like
whatever
this
you're
game.
gonna
I
say.
like
see.
this.
Let's
I don't
see how
know
this-
if I'm gonna come up because I honestly I didn't come up with a ton of things off the top of my head, and then having kind of been called in to judge a little bit of the last minute, I didn't have a ton of time to look up and do some research and jog my memory, as evidenced by having to YouTube assist a lot of these picks that were made, even if I had seen the movie prior. So, I mean, I really everything that I can think of is on the list that you guys drafted, and I think that's just a product of not having a ton of time to do any research.
All right, let's see his reaction when we tell him what you said that he should have known.
If someone would have put Silver Linings Playbook, they would have gotten 4
Okay,
points.
so yeah, that's all right. Yep.
If someone would have put Marriage Story, they would have gotten 4 points.
Marriage.
Yeah,
rough
I think
one.
so.
Whoa, wait. Silver Linings. Which breakup scene?
I don't know. I've never seen it, and he's mad at me for it. But he loves
Oh,
that.
you've never seen that?
And now there's two.
For the
now there's two
love
of you.
of all that is romantic
I
and
know.
comedic.
I know.
Well, that's on your list.
My
We're
God.
supposed
Yo,
we're gonna
we're
watch
going
that
to
at
do
some
that
point.
one. I'm going to make you watch it. That's going to be 2 that I'm going to be like, you're welcome.
Okay, thank you.
God, man, that's shocking.
But
Okay.
I'm glad I was right with those. Here we
Okay.
go.
Yeah, those are both. great
Silver
ones,
Linings
thinking
has
about it
I don't know that there's really a breakup in that one. That's
Well,
the issue.
now. So there's not. I don't think that there's kind of a by definition breakup, but there's definitely scenes where Jennifer Lawrence and Bradley Cooper go at it to the point where, like, okay, like they're trying to be done with each
Yeah.
other, but they can't be. That. And
When I was looking,
I also. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
when I was looking stuff up on the internet, it was referencing like the last letter he gave her or something like that. That scene.
Well, so that and
I've not
I was
seen it,
gonna
as I said,
I was gonna bring that up because he's not necessarily breaking up with Jennifer Lawrence's character. He's breaking up with his ex-wife. Finally.
Yeah.
He's
Which I think that's
Yeah.
he whispers to her, and like that in some ways is very memorable. I'm with you. You and I should sit down probably and watch that movie together, just because
it's a great movie. It's a great movie. And Marriage Story too on Netflix. Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson. That's a
there's
pretty
some
rough
tough
one.
scenes in that one. All right, so what all y'all got? What do you got for some alsos?
if I would have tried to go with some of the emotional ones, there's another one in Cruel Intentions when he breaks up with her and he's like, "I
Felipe.
don't love you," and he's like saying it to her face, and like she's like, "No, you won't say that to me," and like he just like it keeps kind of like forcing it on her and kind of ruins.
That's a good one.
Reese
I didn't think about
Witherspoon's
that one.
day pretty badly.
Not
that kinda
as
leads to
badly
the
until
end.
he gets ran over.
Yeah, then it ends bad. He gets beat up and then he gets ran over.
Double wham.
Literally.
Scott,
So sticking with my violence, and not your typical breakup, but when Billy breaks up with Sydney in Scream by being the killer.
That's a solid one. I was thinking something similar. What about does Rose break up with Jack when she refuses to let him on the door?
Oh shit!
It doesn't work.
that's a pretty bad.
She definitely
breakup,
breaks
yeah.
up with Cal.
okay.
Whatever his last name is.
She does.
So just the whole movie, The Breakup with Jennifer Aniston and Vince Vaughn, it's kind of a movie just centered around.
Yeah.
the
So
fact
that
they're
one, there's
splitting up.
there's some good ones. The other one that's of this, not called it, but 500 Days of Summer is a movie
Yes,
about
I almost said
breaking
that
up.
one.
And similarly, Blue Valentine is one that I've not seen, but know like the content of, and is supposed to be very heavy and hard to watch. And it's essentially a movie about like the slow demise.
How would have going back to Titanic? How would have like inanimate objects like worked for you? If it would have like the Titanic's breaking up with its passengers? Like I mean,
Breaking up with itself.
breaking
up with itself. I mean, somebody could have gone really wild
did have
with
a
this
pretty
one,
big
and they had
split.
some really like crazy breakups.
Or is
we didn't say it had to be a relationship.
Well,
we did.
Did you bring up Wally and Eva when she goes back to the ship because she found a plant? Did you bring that up at all? Or?
No, that's kind of. I thought about that, but I wasn't gonna draft it.
Or like 7 when Gwyneth Paltrow's head breaks up with her body.
That's a good one.
And then in the Notebook, right? I mean, that's
there's a good breakup scene in that one. That one's definitely.
I saw that and my girlfriend mentioned that one for sure.
What about kind of a sneaky one, but like, what about Her? So
I
it's
saw that listed, but I've never seen the movie.
You've never seen that movie? That movie is weird, but it's good.
That's the Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, when he falls in love
AI.
with ScarJo via the computer.
There's one that's it's right after a very problematic scene, but a very important movie in my youth, Revenge of the Nerds, when she breaks up with Stan Gable.
Oh,
because she goes with the nerd.
That's a good one.
Gives him his ring, and yeah.
The movie we were supposed to do last week that we had to.
We didn't mention that.
Yeah, we mentioned on the socials that we were pivoting, but Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I mean, that's pretty much all about dealing with the breakup, and I mean, they actually have a pretty vocal breakup in the movie. So that's Joel and Clementine.
A couple of our earliest movies have great breakups. Whiplash, our very first, has a great breakup where he's just like, he's like, yeah, I just can't.
I hated that.
Concentrate. It's a hard breakup, yeah. And then Office Space has a funny one where like he basically just refuses to respond to her, and finally she's just like, but BS, I cheated on you.
Yeah,
it's just like a great, like horrible, bitch scene.
Well, Adam Sandler, he got drafted, but he's got a lot of memorable breakups. And Happy Gilmore when he's on like the little voice thing.
Yeah.
And then also in Big Daddy, like he, he has the breakup as well. So
and then Old Balls swoops in. There's this guy that me and Nick used to work out for years together, and the gym we went to, there was a guy that looked just like him that we referred to for years as Old Balls. He also incidentally called Nick Chris for about a year and a half. And Nick refused to correct him, which I shamed him about every day.
Would it be a stretch to say the narrator and Tyler Durden when he kind of blows him out?
Oh, that's not bad.
Just kind of splits that relationship up, and Tyler Durden goes away.
It would be a sneaky pick.
That would have been a nice one.
Eat, Pray, Love's a good one too. When
That's
she's like,
tough
I
one,
don't want to be married anymore.
Comedy, Legally Blonde. He wants to be a politician.
Ellen.
Says, I need a Jackie, not a Marilyn. And that kind of is what stems the whole, because she thinks she's going to get proposed to.
She gets broken up to with because she's blonde.
Warner. That's right.
So a quick little shout out to our friends over at Real Drunks. Brad and I were recently on an episode. We actually mentioned Porky's on the last episode. And so we actually talked about the movie Porky's. Well, we also did a top 5 list of top 5 raunchy teen comedies. And I mentioned one, and it's a movie that hardly anybody's probably ever seen, 1982, and it's called The Last American Virgin. And it's got one of the more fucked up endings ever. Real quickly, this nerd's he's trying to get laid and all that stuff. It's a typical 80s, teen movie, and he falls in love with the cute girl, and he's trying to get with her, but she ends up with the jock, whatever, and they end up having sex, and she gets pregnant, and then he dumps her, and then the nerd picks up the pieces, and then he pays for her abortion, and then at the very end of the movie, he walks in, like he thinks they're together, they're gonna go to the party together. And he walks in the kitchen and they're making out. She's back with the jock. And so basically she used him to get the abortion paid for. And it was just so brutal because it's kind of a fun movie. There's some funny shit. And all of a sudden it's like super heavy at the end. Yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to bring that up.
Just lighten the mood.
Yeah. Send this out on that.
So I was just looking a little bit through some lists to see if there was anything I missed. And I saw Midsommar being mentioned, and I totally forgot about that one.
Zach would have.
He sleeps with one of the people at the I don't know, camp or cult, whatever, and then she gets all mad, and then she eventually you can go ahead and turn him into the effigy, right?
Yeah, it ends badly for him.
Yeah, it doesn't go well.
Was that the one you mentioned you were going to draft for Zach, or was it something else?
In honor of him? It was 500 Days of Summer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he
I almost thought
was just telling me that he had watched that, and he rewatched it and really loved it.
I love that movie.
I've got a couple more. Talladega Nights, funny breakup.
Ricky Bobby. He gets. She's now with Cal.
He just walks in. What are you doing? What are you doing here, Cal?
And then 3 really heavy ones. Crazy Heart, which is a movie I love with Jeff Bridges, where he loses the kid because he's drunk. Mrs. Doubtfire, which is a funny movie but a heartbreaking breakup, and then Kramer versus Kramer, which is fucking horrible. Like, just, why don't you just, stab yourself in the eyes? But
I'm glad you didn't slice your toes. Speaking of,
I don't think
we talked about what we heard. The rumor going around was that your dad paid you off.
Yeah, so my dad called. He calls me right after he hears the episode, and he goes, "I really need to talk to you about something." So I come down. He lives down the road, so I go down. Dad's sitting there. And he goes, and he's dead serious, and he's like, "Hey, so look, you can't let them cut your toes, right?" and like, but this isn't just a standard like, don't do something foolish. He's like, toes, they don't heal. Your feet don't heal. Like that's just you're just asking for gangrene. Which he was dead serious. And you know what, Dad? I mean, you're not wrong, right? If you got some gangrene, And so he's like, "I will pay you $200 to not get your toes cut." And I was like, "Sold, done."
Did he pay up?
Done. No, not yet, but he takes.
Hey, Keith, you better. Nate's waiting to collect right now.
My dad he's been generous beyond the $200 in his life.
He's paid you.
So I have a
way
feeling.
ahead of that,
I think he's paid in advance.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that works. I mean, I was trying to do as much possible to like let you get out of it because I kept just like, "Are you really gonna do this? Are you?" And I was like, because I was ready.
Because you were still going with it like that morning. You were like, "Maybe."
I'm still not afraid.
I was gonna chop the shit out of those toes.
I ain't afraid. I just think that you're gonna have to hold the cardboard.
I know. I don't.
Oh no, but like me, like holding the paper is no big deal. Like I don't mind.
You just can't kiss it.
What can you do?
Just touch it. Like over
Can we
my tongue.
break up with this conversation?
You can't lick the cardboard. Where's the card? So like you're telling me that how much would I have to pay you?
No,
to lick?
No. This is smooth, dry paper. Like it has to be dry. Like
dry. Like
what paper is
like
wet?
Thirsty
this
paper.
isn't wet. This is like
I looked over that notepad right now. And I just like, ew, that kind of like that gave me like the.
I looked at the notepad. I said, "Why is there a random cookie?"
Like touching paper.
I don't know. It
just
flew out of Nate's
a
mouth.
cookie sitting
that's my playing cookie in case I get hungry
Like
while I'm playing a song.
crumbs. It's like, where's he been? He's got little crumbs
We're
of Nutter Butters
in
everywhere.
Scotch's Cantina, which is also like a performing studio, and I was over there pretending to play the guitar earlier and set my cookie down.
Nate, there was one more breakup that we I mean, this is a classic of our youth, but you're breaking up with me? Is this because I didn't introduce you to my mom?
Oh, just
when she just flings the letter at his face as she's crawling out.
Mall rats.
And she drops a good line too. She says, what does she say about, "I only have enough time to fuck you," or like,
I forget. I don't remember.
She drops a line on him at the end about basically like, it's like embarrassing that all she has to do in her life is like fuck him.
Well, then he later explains that he farted while she was going down on him, which is part of the problem.
Oh, that's terrible.
It's not great. It's not a great move.
Would you break up with Walter if he did that?
They're exchanging looks. That might be direction. All right.
What are we doing next week? Do we even know?
I think, well, you know what? I think we're going to try to the redo of Eternal Sunshine if we can get Zach on board. He's been a world traveler for a while, so we're trying to get him back in the States.
Okay.
And he's on a world tour. He went on a private like BVK solo world tour without telling us. Kind of fucked up.
So we will be back next week with the Eternal Sunshine, and until then, we'd like to say thank you to our judge Walter.
No problem.
Thanks on short notice.
Thanks for having me.
And I just again want to tell you, you do such a good job, and your judgment is so spot on that I just
disagree.
Just can't say enough about it.
Hard pass.
Kendra, thanks for jumping in with us.
Having me,
Always
guys.
good. Always good to have a Kendra on.
Thanks both of you guys.
Yeah. Thanks for having us.
Fellas, it's been a good one. We don't have Zach around, so I think we have to hear from our Walter. And
bye-bye.
I wanna be at Beverly's, bringing me home with my movies, just a blind by, no reason why. I love this scene. It's Scott, Zach, and Brad, your favorite podcast. Let's start